genetics are such a big factor in this. And that's kind of the thing I always explain to people, right? For someone who wants to get into this, whether it's natural or enhanced, your genetics are going to dictate pretty much how far you go. Like, yeah, you can be determined and do whatever, like, but if you're not a hyper responder, you're not going to make it to the Olympia, right? You're not going to make it in natural if you aren't committed for 5-6 years and have great genetics and really give it 110%, right? Like, it's just,
and we just saw that with the 3 different, I mean, I don't know much about this, but we just saw that with the 3 different guys.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. And like those guys are what we call genetic responders or hyper responders. So what I mean by that is like they will take 150 milligrams of test, right? And say all 4 of us take it. There's going to be a variation between Luis, between Belay, between Alex, between me. Like maybe Luis takes it and in 8 weeks.
I have the lowest.
Well, no, but we're talking exogenous, right? Like we're talking injecting it. So if I injected all of us.
Really?
It might be. We don't know that. Until
there's no way of actually knowing. I mean, yours is probably lower because you don't. Yeah, probably because you don't work out or diet. Yeah, I mean, but Luis is so lean, he probably also doesn't have it very high. Body fat also kills. Like you need to have a certain amount for good, but that's natural, right? The exogenous one, when you're injecting it, it very well could be like Luis could take it and all of a sudden he could blow up and add 25 pounds of lean muscle and be a monster, right? Belay could take it and all of a sudden drop like 15 pounds of fat and then grow like 30 pounds of muscle, right? I could take it and not change at all. Like not possible, like not usually, but like that's what I'm saying is there's such a variation that you really don't know.
This thing is illegal?
It's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like everybody there is on it, but you can't like, I mean, it's hard because there's like, it's one of those weird things where like, yes, it's illegal to do steroids, but like, it's one of those laws where it's like, oh, it's like illegal to possess or something like get caught with, but like all these guys have prescriptions, right? So they go to a clinic and they're like, I need this. And then obviously they have a team of doctors. And that being said, though, there are guys who don't do that. And then that's where you get like people who have heart problems and die, because if you want to do that, you are going to shave life or years off your life. Yeah. Like it's because your body is not made to be 300 pounds of lean muscle, right? If you're not taking care of your heart and getting your blood work done and not blasting gear, right? If you're making sure you slowly taper it and titrate it and not do anything crazy, then sure, you'll be okay. But you're still going to take years off your life. But comparatively, if you do it stupidly, like a lot of guys in the industry do, they just inject themselves with a fucking gram of test and then fucking eat cheeseburgers.
That's steroid?
Yeah. So testosterone. Yeah. Testosterone is an anabolic steroid, and it's the derivative of almost every steroid, right? Every one of them is a version of testosterone, just modified a little. But a lot of the guys will take something crazy, like for example, trenbolone, which is the thing they give to cattle to keep them beefy when they transport them. And that shit will fuck with your brain, right? Like you're not meant to be taking hormones we give to cattle. So all that to say, it's not safe. You can do it safely, but we're talking about harm reduction, not making it completely safe, because your body's not meant to be 300 pounds of lean.
Is this where horse tranquilizer comes into play?
Not quite.
No.
Okay.
No. So it's trenbolone. Like I can read you the actual hormone, but trenbolone acetate. Yes. And so it's a synthetic estronate steroid or a derivative of nandrolone or nortestosterone. But all that to say, it's an androgen anabolic steroid, and it's arguably one of the most dangerous. Like it's mainly made for veterinarians and for clinical stuff. And it's not safe. I mean, there's like a list of like, what are the safest ones? And the answer is testosterone, like flat is the safest, right? We have things called like TRT clinics. So in that same vein of like hormone replacement therapy, when everyone talks about fucking like transitioning and stuff, we forget that like guys over like 50 are taking testosterone because your sex hormones crash out like when you get old. Like that just happens. And it's good for men to do that, right? Like if you're at 50 and you have no test, your dick's not going to work. You're going to feel lethargic. You're going to have brain fog. You're not going to feel like a man anymore. And it's like,
is testosterone in Viagra?
No.
Okay, that's different. Okay.
So people do take but people do take Viagra because it's a blood flow. Yes, thank you. A blood flow, a vasodilatator. Thank you, Luis. I always forget what it is, but yes, you take it because it opens your blood vessels and allows you to get a better pump. I also
watch porn in the gym to make sure they get even thicker.
Yeah, that one was weird. I'll be honest. I understand the science of like, oh, you look at a pretty girl and you're stronger, but like porn in the gym, dude.
What?
Like, yeah. It's fucking, dude.
People watch porn and it's
fucking weird, man.
That, like, that stimulated emotion will get you powers of like, alphaness. I don't know. It's weird.
It's fucking
gym
weird.
Culture is kind of cringy. I'm not gonna lie. I think that like sometimes when you're like I respect what you're saying, Max, because you did it for the love of the competition. You did it for the fact that you thoroughly enjoyed the sport. And then you also tried it out and you were like, this is what I got out of it. And this is the experience that I'm trying to tell people about it. Right. And we're like kind of talking about it here. But some people, when they're like Wolf Pack or like oh, like we're wolves and shit. It's like, bro, like you're just gonna go lift the weight. Like I do it because I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like the progress, even though I see none sometimes. I'm like, you know what? Like progress is progress. But people who are like making it like this fighting demon shit, like come on, y'all are
It's
like
fucking
18.
corny. It's so corny. Well, and it's weird because it's like I remember, I started this in 2019, right? I was really overweight pretty much my entire life, right? I guess it's just a little backstory.
He was fat.
I was, and I was,
fatter than me, dude. Like, you think I'm bad? He was fat. This little fifth grader kid, whenever he
don't say that, but we don't say that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
body
sorry.
shamer. No, it's okay. I mean, it's true. Like I always struggled with my weight, and this was long before TikTok was a thing and gym culture was a thing. Like I was always struggling with my weight. I never understood how to get it under control, and diet wasn't like you just go on TikTok and learn how to do it, right? This was when you actually had to Google things.
There are some benefits to TikTok, is what I'm hearing from
there are. Yeah, no, there is, but it's also like a monoculture thing, but that's besides the point. But anyways, in like 2018, I had to get my weight under control. Like my breaking point was when I would get winded going up the stairs to my bedroom. And I was just like, okay, I have to change something.
Oh my God. Okay. I haven't gone to that point, but
that's nearing belay level.
Belay is almost there.
UCLA steps are fucking different than your steps to your bedroom. Max knows the UCLA steps. Even he got a little winded.
Well, and that's the thing is like it was just hard because like you kind of go your whole life being overweight, and it's hard because you see people that are naturally skinny or vice versa, and it's like you don't really understand how that works. And so in that like TikTok world, right, you have to decipher what works, what doesn't, how do you really lose weight, and you're like, oh, but green tea detox and like waist trainers and shit.
I fell into those too, dude, growing up.
They're all stupid. Like they're all just like lies, and that's honestly the hardest part, because once you realize like, oh, it's just having a decent diet consistently over time, making sure you exercise and move enough, and making sure it works for you, because that's kind of the component missing from TikTok and shit. The thing that I hate the most is people are like, oh, you have to be fighting demons and like crying in the gym because your girlfriend broke up with you or something like that. It's like, no, you don't. Like, if you want to be angry because you're having a bad day, like that's totally fine. And if you're in a bad place, I think going to the gym is a great thing, right? But that doesn't mean you have to be like, it's like, that's fucking stupid. You don't have to be flipping your hood up pretending like you're Batman.
Like Taylor Swift in the gym. I'm not gonna lie, it helped me. It was good. I liked it.
Sure, like do whatever you want. Like if you
that Ariana Grande thing.
Hold on, sorry. So you come closer to the mic when you speak. So like I'm trying to hear you. It's just kind of hard.
I was telling him like for the first 2 years I was just listening to Ariana Grande. Like it wasn't that
fuck
good.
It. Like hey, if you like it, like listen. That's when I first got into music, because I was like, shit, I'm spending so much time in the gym. Like I gotta learn how to fucking like music. But
I think TikTok has been a game changer in the fitness community, because I remember like around that time, like 2019, even 2020 to some extent, where when I wasn't on TikTok, I feel like the depth and just breadth of information regarding fitness was like not close to what it is today. I feel like the kids now, they can grow much faster, much earlier, because the quality of information is just so much better. I remember you had like a few YouTubers at the time. You had like I would rip like Athlete X and like Jeff Nippert.
Athlete X.
And that was it. But now you have like all these like science-based guys. You have like TNF. You have like
Ryan Jewers.
I love Ryan Jewers.
I know I'm getting old because I don't even know half these names.
Coaching.
JPG.
Luis, when I first met your dad,
Santa Cruz.
When I first met your dad, he looked like Athlete X to me. I didn't know if you knew who he was.
Context: Luis's dad like bikes like 100 miles a day. Like it's insane.
Like I'm sorry, Luis, you're ripped, but you will never be your dad.
Your dad's legs, bro. They're like I'm listening to this podcast, Mr. Toto's legs, insane.
Every time I see him biking, I'm just like, bro.
Has he biked the Cross Panama before?
Yeah, there's like a race called Ocean. It's not. I think it's like 80 kilometers or like 100 kilometers. He's done longer than that. But yeah, there's a race called Ocean to Ocean that like starts on one end and that ends in the city, which is pretty nice.
So cool.
How many miles is that? Hold up, just to give our viewers or our maker. I don't. That's
isn't it like I guess 30 or 50?
62 miles.
62 miles. Yeah, because it's like kilometers are like a little less than 0.2 of a mile.
1.609.
1.609. There we go.
Is a mile.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
I mean, you're absolutely right, Luis. Like